Hello, listeners, and welcome to the Cafe View. Today, we are diving into an incredibly empowering topic, the Liberian youth versus going to Liberia. Dear Liberian youth, 15 to 35 years of age, I have a story to share with you. I have a story to share with you that embodies the heart, resilience, and determination that I know lays within each of you. It is the story of Shamuka Jr., a young Liberian who endured some of the darkest moments our nations had ever faced. Like so many of you, he was forced to witness the devastation and suffering that came with the brutal years of Liberian Civil War. Imagine the constant fear, the loss, the uncertainty about whether he could make it the next day. But even in the blinkers of time, when others might have given up, Shamuka Jr. held on to, he held on to hope. He possessed a real mental toughness, an inner resilience, an unbreakable spirit that fueled his will to survive. Not only to survive, but to overcome. Through sheer determination, Shamuka carved a path forward that few could have imagined. Shamuka poured his soul into his learning, fighting to expand his knowledge despite the limited resources around him. And then when it seems like his hard work and strength could go unnoticed, an extraordinary opportunity came his way. An international NGO operating in Liberia was moved by Shamuka's stories and drive. The NGO offered him a scholarship to study civil engineering at Ohio State University in the United States. For many of you, this might have been the end of the story. For many of you, this will have been a chance to escape the hardship in your neighborhood. For many of you, this was a perfect chance to escape the hardship in Monrovia. For many of you, there would have been a perfect chance to escape the hardship from Liberia totally. A chance to build a comfortable life for yourself in the United States. But for Shamika Jr., it was just the beginning of a larger mission. He saw his education not just as a personal victory, but as a way to gain the skills he would need to rebuild or help to rebuild Liberia. And now, with a degree in hand, Shamuka is ready to make his dream a reality. His ambition is not only to secure his own future, but to return to Liberia and contribute to his nation's growth and recovery. Shamuka Jr. is already making plans to open a civil engineering firm in Monrovia, aiming to tackle the unemployment crisis by hiring and training young Liberians, giving them the chance to work with purpose and dignity. This is a young man determined to help rebuild Liberia that was almost lost during the Civil War. Shamuka dreamed to create roads and buildings that symbolize hope, progress, and unity. This, my dear Liberian youth, is more than just a story. It is a testament to the strength that must exist in every one of you. Shamaka is showing you that no matter how painful your past, you have the power to rise above, to redefine your future first, and then assist to rebuild our beloved country Liberia. Today, as you listen to Shamaka's story, I hope you feel inspired to see the greatness within yourselves and the difference you too can make in our nation. Shamaka Jr. was just an 8-year-old boy when the Liberian Civil War broke out in 1989. And life as he knew it turned into a daily struggle for survival. He lives in constant fear, with the sounds of gunfire echoing through his village, and uncertainty looming over each new day. Nights were spent huddled in makeshift shelter, hiding from danger and clinging to whatever fragment of safety he could find. Food was scarce, and school was a distant memory, and hope seemed to be like a luxury his young heart could not afford. Yet, despite his turmoil, Shamaka held on to a quiet resolve. Deep inside, Shamaka had a flicker of belief that there was a future beyond this nightmare. He believed he nurtured whatever silver of opportunity that came his way. With no formal education to attend or school to attend, and no teacher to guide him, Shamaka made school out of the scary resources he could find. He could salvage book and newspaper from abandoned and demolished homes. He was heard by his sister Nienta, piecing together information on science and mathematics. Imagine him there, sitting alone in a dim light, learning algebra from torn pages. Like many of you, Shamaka was driven by the hope that knowledge could be his key to freedom one day. There were times when he stayed up all night, risking his safety just to read in secret. Shamaka's uncle Jacob and his sister Miata encouraged him, sometimes providing pencil or pieces of paper that they found in the street or wherever they could get it from. For Shamaka, even these small gestures of support fueled his determination, reminding him that he was not entirely alone in his journey. Years of teaching, of self-teaching and determination accumulated into a pivotal moment when the international NGO came to Liberia looking for a young survivor of the Liberian conflict who showed academic promise. Shamaka's story caught their attention. The young man who had taught himself in the shadow of war, who had never given up his dream. The NGO saw in him the resilience they sought to uplift, and they offered him an incredible opportunity. A full scholarship to study civil engineering at Ohio State University. Leaving Liberia for the first time, Shamaka Jr. embarked on a journey that was both thrilling and overwhelming. Imagine the culture shock. Shamaka Jr. was moving from a war-torn city like Monrovia to a bursting university campus filled with opportunities and resources beyond anything he had ever seen in his life. Surprisingly, Shamuka didn't allow himself to be intimidated by his new environment. He embraced the new chapters wholeheartedly, committing himself to excel and learn everything he could. For him, every lecture, every lab work, and every project was a step closer to his ultimate goal, which was return to Liberia to contribute to rebuilding. You cannot beat this. I cannot even touch you with a 10-foot pole. Shamuka Jr. is telling you or showing you that he is the real Liberian hero. While at Ohio State, Shamuka immersed himself in his studies, particularly fascinated by a subject that would later be instrumental in Liberia reconstruction. Shamuka focused on sustainable building practices, affordable infrastructure, and innovative engineering solutions suited for developing nations like Liberia. Some of Shamuka Jr. professors at Ohio State University quietly noticed his drive. He became a star student, constantly seeking extra knowledge that he could one day apply back home. He knew Liberia's infrastructure had been decimated by the war. Roads, bridges, and buildings were crumbling or gone entirely. For example, Hotel Africa came to his mind. Graduation day was a moment of triumph for Shamuka, but he knew his mission was just beginning. While many of the Liberians who he met at Ohio State University were looking for a lucrative career in the USA, Shamuka's sights were set on Liberia. He turned down jobs offered that would have provided him a comfortable life in the United States. But driven by his sense of duty to his homeland, Shamuka Jr. is making plans for his return in 2026 to Liberia, not only as a PhD holder in civil engineering, but as a change maker. Shamuka's visions for his home is clear. He wants to open a civil engineering firm that not only builds infrastructure, but also provides employment and training opportunities for young Liberians. He understands the struggle that young people face in Liberia with limited jobs and opportunity. His plan is to give them a reason to stay in Liberia. He wants to give them a purpose for staying in Liberia. He wants to give them a future in their own home. He also knows that with Liberia challenges, his firm can do more than just build. It can become a place for skill development, a school of thought where young people learn not only technical skills, but also the value of resilience, the value of teamwork, and the value of innovation. He planned to establish a apprenticeship program within his company where young Liberians can work alongside engineers, gaining hand-on experiences and skills that will serve them for a lifetime. Shamaka's story is one of fierce dedication, resilience, and unyielding commitment to making a difference. Despite growing up surrounded by war, with a little support and even fewer resources, he had made it his life mission to contribute meaningfully to Liberia's future. Shamaka Journey stands as a testament to what is possible when determination meets opportunity. Also, when a young man decides that his life purpose is to give back to his country. To all of our listeners, especially the youth of Liberia, aged 15 to 35, let Shamaka's story be a call to action. He did not allow his circumstances to define him. He created a path forward when none were in sight. His story shows you the youth, that the strength to rebuild Liberia lies within each of you. Therefore, if we are studying abroad, or we have dreams of gaining knowledge and skills from outside Liberia, remember that the ultimate goal is to bring those skills back home. Liberia has been left weakened by the loss of many talented minds, but each of you has the potential to reverse this trend. Just like Shamukot, you can dream big, work hard, and one day come back to make an impactful difference. As Liberia rebuilds, we need engineers, doctors, lawyers, teachers, artists, and visionaries. We need young people willing to pour their passions and talent into this country's future. So you are encouraged to follow Shamuka's example. You must commit to using every opportunity to equip yourselves with the skills to transfer Liberia into a place where the next generation can thrive. Together, you are the youth. You can build a nation that reflects our dream. You can build a nation that reflects our resilience. You can build a nation that reflects our wavering hope. Compelling reason why Liberian youth must return home. The Liberian reversing brain drain. The Liberian Civil War led to a severe brain drain, with significant number of skilled individuals leaving the country. Many who have left since gained valuable skills, education, and experience abroad. Returning allowed them to apply this knowledge to the Liberian unique challenges, reversing the brain drain and gradually rebuilding the country intellectual and professional base. Youth returning with knowledge in fields like engineering, healthcare, education, and business can drive economic growth by starting businesses, creating jobs, and bringing new expertise to existing sectors. Your skill can attract investment, improve productivity, and stimulate innovation, which will lead to a stronger, more sustainable economy. Liberian infrastructure was devastated during the war and urgently needs reconstruction. Engineers, architects, planners, public health experts who have gained modern knowledge abroad can play a critical role in building roads, schools, hospitals, and housing. They can introduce innovative, cost-effective, and sustainable practices that benefit Liberia for generations to come. The skills and methods Liberian youth have gained abroad can be shared with their peers at home, leading to this cascade effect. This knowledge transfer can happen through mentorship, transfer training program, and partnership with local institutions, creating a more skilled and capable workforce in Liberia. Advantages of Liberian youth returning after studying abroad: promoting sustainable development. By bringing back knowledge in areas like environmental science, sustainable agriculture, and renewable energy, returning youth can guide Liberia towards sustainable developmental practices. These skills are crucial in addressing climate change, food security, and energy independence. Issue, I guarantee you, will grow only in importance for Liberia. Every returning young professionals can become a role model for Liberian youth who may otherwise feel that leaving the country is the only way to succeed. And this is not true. The youth presence and work in Liberia will create a visible proof that contributing to your own society is both possible and rewarding, generating hope and positive change. What if the Liberian youth do not return home? If the youth or Liberian youth fail to return home, the country will continue to suffer from a lack of qualified professionals, making it difficult to address key areas like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. With shortage of skilled workers, Liberia remains dependent on foreign aids. Liberia remains dependent on foreign expertise, which hinder self-sufficiency. When the country's most educated youth do not return, a disconnection grows between those that are in Liberia and those that remain in foreign countries. Over time, this can weaken the sense of national identity and make it more difficult to foster unity and collective effort toward nation building. Returning youth brings exposure to cutting edge technology and global best practices. Without them, Liberia risks falling behind in critical areas like digital infrastructure, environmental policy, and modern healthcare, which are essential for global competitiveness and national well-being. In essence, Liberia's future relies heavily on the youth who are being educated and trained abroad. Their return not only brings essential skills, but also renew hope and stronger national pride. By returning, you, the youth of Liberia, will take ownership of Liberia's story, showing that every young Liberian can play a meaningful role in turning the dark pages of Liberia toward a brighter and unified future. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the Cafe View. Thank you for your viewership.